Well, hello to the True Tales of the Paranormal family. How are you all doing? It is I, Neferkefri, your hostess with the Ghostess, and I'm here with a promised life update. As you have noticed from my channel, I am not uploading nearly as often as I had been. I was up to doing a video a week. I had 50 videos up, and I started to have major issues with my eyesight. And I had to have cataracts removed. That didn't go too great. And now I've got to go back for laser surgery because I'm seeing too much glare. My sight's actually worse now than it was when I had the cataracts. And so that happened. And because of that, it was really bothering my eyes to look at a lit screen, at a phone screen, computer screen, TV. It didn't matter, even if I put the brightness down as low as I could to still be able to see what was going on the screen. It was causing a lot of eye pain, and that was causing headaches, and they were evolving into nausea. So I was just really sick, and I couldn't handle it. Well, the past few weeks, my eyes seem to have adjusted to the glare. They've adjusted to looking at a screen. So looking at my phone, looking at a computer, editing videos is no longer making me feel sick. So I'm going to go back to uploading, hopefully once a week again. But I do have my next surgery coming up on September the 12th of 2025. So depending on how that one goes, I might have to take another break, hopefully not a very long one this time, because I really want to keep going. I have got so much weird stuff that happened to me in my life. I've got material for like another 50 videos. Easy. I have a list. I actually went through back in my old memory banks here and wrote a list, just, basic titles of all the weird things that have happened to me over the years. And I literally have enough material for it's about more like 46 more videos for sure. But by the time I get those filmed, at the rate of which weird things happen to me, there's going to be more. So I'll hit another 50 easy. I mean, I am a professional tarot reader. Actually, what you're seeing here, I just finished filming the weekly reading for my patrons. And these are people who support me in my business by paying a monthly payment. And they get a weekly reading of the energy for the week and how they can deal with it, how it may affect them. I do that every week for them. And this is the week of Monday, the 10th, the 9th? I can't remember. Anyway, of August. So I just finished that. But yeah, getting back to True Tales of the Paranormal, I do have a lot more material. The next video I'm going to have actually is going to be a recap of my top 5 scariest paranormal encounters. These are encounters that are already on my channel. It won't be new material, but you will be getting additional information about these paranormal events I did not include in the earlier videos, basically because personally I found it to be too upsetting. And since I was doing a video a week, I didn't want to go over those very scary memories in so much detail. Because I gotta tell you, doing this channel, it's been a lot of fun for me. I've really enjoyed it. And it gives me nightmares. I have to be honest, it gives me nightmares. So it was kind of tough on me too, psychologically, putting a video out a week and having to rehash that scary event in detail so I could share all the details with you. So I think too, the whole eye situation, it gave me a psychological vacation from the material I cover here on my channel. Another little update. I don't know what I did to my wrist. I thought it was, phone fatigue when we're on our cell phones, just way too much, we really are, myself included. And I'm left-handed, and I have an iPhone 15, which is, a little bit of a heavy phone. So I hold it in my right hand so I can manipulate the screen with my left. And I thought maybe I was using it too much. I started to get pain along the base of my thumb, down into my wrist. So I try to, you know, take breaks and use my phone less. And it's been 2 weeks now, and some days the pain's really bad. I'm starting to feel it on the other side of my wrist. So tomorrow I'm going to go to urgent care and get some x-rays done. And then depending on what they say, when their orthopedist looks at them, I may end up having to, who knows what. But yeah, it really hurts. Now, the thing about it is too, is this issue and a couple of other little niggling health issues, just stomach stuff, nothing major, started to hit me when I did the first of the videos on a particular doll whose first name begins with the letter A. I'm not going to be covering that anymore because I noticed the energy of my home shifted when I started to do that. I'm not saying it's coming directly from the doll. I don't believe that it is, but I do believe that there's very dark energy attached to that item. And so when we talk about dark things, what happens? The dark enters our lives one way or another. And I typically see this in my line of work with people who expose themselves to a Ouija board and they don't take proper precautions prior to using the Ouija board, and they don't follow the rules when closing down their session with a Ouija board. That has invited the demonic into many, many, many lives, and I have quite a number of clients who had major issues with that I helped them with. Because my other line of work, you know, I'm a spiritual light worker. I'm a spiritual practitioner. I do card readings, I do candle work. Christian first and foremost, so I always use positive Christian angelic energy to help people. And so I saw the signs, you know, and I was just like, well, let me just wrap up this stuff about, you know, Dan Rivera and I'll stop. Well, then it took another turn, you know, an insane turn. So I had to cover that, which I did. But that's going to be it. I might, you know, mention it offhand later on if something even crazier happens, God forbid, because, you know, we don't want anything to happen to Matt Rife, of course. He has a lot of fans, and his friend Elton Castile. You know, we want these people to be safe, but they just seem to be doing it like it's a hobby or something. It just really upsets me because it's not a hobby. The dark side is very real, very real. So, and it's got to be treated with a modicum of, you know, healthy respect. I don't say you pay it respect. I just say you don't intentionally taunt it. Okay? That's what I mean. I've got another video on that called Bad Things Happen When You Mock the Devil. So you want to check that one out. It's like my most popular video on my channel. Absolutely true story. It happened to my great-grandfather. Anyway, so I've been dealing with little electrical issues around the house. We've had our handyman come out to the house literally 3 times in 2 weeks, which is kind of ridiculous, but we needed it. And then my wrist went wonky. My digestive system went all wonky for no reason. My doctor was like, it's a virus. You know, that's their answer to everything. You know, I'm just waiting for her to tell me this is a virus. Yeah, right. So I've had that stuff happening. And, you know, having to spend time giving my home spiritual cleansings because of the subject matter of those most recent videos has taken away time from being able to create more content. That's another issue. I have a 2,600 square foot 2-story home. It takes me about a good 2.5 hours to cleanse my home from top to bottom. And so that's 2.5 hours of time I could be spending putting out a video, because it takes me about that long to film the video and to edit it, do the thumbnail, and then I go through the process of uploading it and doing all the things YouTube requires you do to your video so it gets seen by other people, you know? So it's time consuming. So that's another reason I'm going to stop talking about that. And I know it's been a really popular topic. It gained me a lot of new subscribers. I'm really sorry if you're into the darker things, but I'm going to go back to, you know, discussing my own experiences, all of which are 100% true. And I hope that you enjoy the new ones coming up, because I mean, I've got a couple that are some doozies. So all that being said, I hope that you all have been doing well. I have missed creating content for you. I've missed being here on my channel, but you know, life happens, my friends. Life happens. Hopefully life has been only happening to you in a good way. So that's all I've got to say today. I'll do my top 5. I'm hoping for, let's see, today's Tuesday. I'm hoping to have the upload ready by next Wednesday and go back to my once a week Wednesday upload schedule. Wednesday afternoon, 12 noon Central Standard Time. So thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. If you're new here, please check out my playlist here. And for those of you who are regular subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and for sticking it out with me. I appreciate you all so much. This is Neferkefri, your hostess with the ghostess, wishing you a blessed day ahead.